Recognizes the gentleman from Washington, Mr. Heck, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Secretary Castro. Welcome to Washington, D.C., and to the committee. Earlier in your comments, you made repeated references to your mission, which I would paraphrase, but I think accurately, to meet the housing needs of the borrowers that the single-family mortgage insurance program is designed to serve. I have a problem with that assertion. My problem is when you use the term mission, it renders it or has the connotation of something some consultant facilitated your executive management group to come up with. But in fact, Mr. Secretary, it's a legal obligation, is it not?
It certainly is part of the DNA of the FHA, sure.
Not just culturally, but statutorily.
Sure.
So last night, an incredible earth-moving event occurred. Jon Stewart announced his retirement from The Daily Show. Okay. And it got me to thinking about all the things that he had said over the years that caused me to sit back and ponder, one of which was, when we amplify everything, we hear nothing. And I fear that we have amplified something here today which caused us not to hear something else, namely that you are, quote, in violation of the law, end quote. But of course, the law has many faces. So I thought I would go back and check, as it were, the controlling legal authority. And here's what the National Housing Act says. And I want to make real clear that this is an 81-year-old statute that was reaffirmed both in 1959 and in 2008 by this chamber. It says that if you determine that the fund is not meeting the operational goals established under paragraph 7, you may make appropriate premium adjustments. And here's one of your operational goals. Here's one of your legal obligations. This language will be familiar to you. To meet the housing needs of the borrowers that the single-family mortgage insurance program is designed to serve. So I think my point, and I'm soliciting your response, is yes, you have a legal obligation under the law to get to 2% reserve, but you also have a legal obligation to serve the borrowers that this program was designed to serve. And it just seems to me, Mr. Secretary, please respond, that what you've attempted to do is balance those two legal obligations, and it seems to me that the reduction of the insurance premiums was a way you were able to reconcile what could be construed as conflicting legal obligations. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree that we have both of those requirements in front of us. We're working hard to get to 2%. We've seen incredible progress toward that. So there's better news today than there has been in the past. At the same time, from its very beginning, FHA has had the mission and the responsibility to afford opportunity to Americans who are working hard, who may be of modest means, but who are responsible and also deserve the opportunity to be able to own a home.
Not just a mission, but a legal obligation to serve them. So quickly, let me ask you once again about HECM, the reverse mortgage program. As you know, I was involved with my friend Congressman Fitzpatrick in reforming that legislation a year and a half ago. If I read the balance sheet correctly and the independent actuary's assessment, you are making progress. But what is not clear to me is whether or not the changes brought about by passage of the Reverse Mortgage Reform Act that Mr. Fitzpatrick and I worked on together have themselves, if you can bifurcate the performance of your legacy HECM program with those reverse mortgages that have been underwritten since enactment of the reform legislation. Can you do that?
I believe the analysis can be done. I'm not sure that that has been done, but we'd love to follow up with you if you would like for us to
would very
much
appreciate the clarification.
Sure. I will say more generally that thank you and the committee for working on this. You're right that HECM has been a challenging part of our portfolio, and we believe that the legislation will help to stabilize it and to strengthen those books of business as far as HECM goes into the future.
You're welcome, Mr. Secretary. Please extend your gratitude to Mr. Fitzpatrick as well. I had one more question, but I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you, Mr. Chair.